Hi, it's Carrie with Crafter's Log. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another Mrs.Quilty. Into their second box. We'll go over what came with it and all the good stuff that's in it. I'll have a promo code in the description for your 20% off your first box, as well as you'll be able to see that they now have, you can get a subscription box like this with fabric, their booklets and patterns, and sometimes a little notions, or you can just subscribe to their pattern subscription, which I think is really cool. So if you get lots of fabrics and you like to collect different patterns, just depending on what you like to do, this might be the thing for you to do. Anyways, this box is normally I want to say $34.99. I could be wrong. I'll put it in the description on how much the box is, but remember, with my promo code, you will get 20% off your first box. Anyways, let's dig in. As always, I do love their boxes. They're super cute. Quilt, Laugh, Love. This book is pretty great, and it's one of the things that I appreciate the most about Mrs.Quilty's boxes is this book and the amount of information that's in it, along with the patterns. So this one, this is my second box, my second sponsored box from Miss Quilty, and I've worked up 3 of the projects in here. So normally I go and unbox, and then I did a quick video of me doing everything. But when I was editing the videos, I was like, no, I didn't go over how much I appreciate the booklet itself. So we're going to dive into it a little bit more and show you why I think that this is probably the best edition, or not even an edition for Mrs. Quilty. They've always had this book, but it would be a great addition to a beginner quilter's repertoire, I guess, if you're singing. So if you're a beginner quilter, I think that this box is probably one of the best boxes that you can get. And it's by far way different from my very first opinion of Miss Quilty, but I appreciate the time that they spent on upping their game on the book, as well as their pattern writing and interpretation of measurements, and just by far it's 100% improvement. So great job, Miss Quilty, for listening to people who are reaching out to you about the inconsistencies in the pattern writing. So kudos to you and thank you, because I appreciate it coming from a beginner quilter. Okay, you know the book is intense when you have a table of contents, which I totally appreciate. And it comes with a welcome. It comes with a minute, it says, my unique approach. Now that we are quilting friends, let me show you how our journey together will unfold. I've designed these monthly boxes to help you grow from simple stitches to stunning creations. Here's what you'll receive every month. So every month you're going to receive 4 to 5 theme projects for all skill levels, video tutorials. And now, and this box particularly has the QR codes for the video tutorials, which I find is awesome. And those girls that are doing those videos are much better than my first one. So video tutorials coming soon to all boxes. This one does have the video tutorials on it, which are amazing. Surprise quilting gift from me, 12 high quality 100% cotton fat quarters, step-by-step written instructions with helpful images, exclusive fabric designs you won't find anywhere else. How I guide your journey. Each box teaches you new quilting techniques like piecing, binding, applique, and more. Every project is chosen to build your skills. You'll tackle more exciting designs as your confidence builds. Advanced quilters, don't worry, there's always a challenging project for you too. Now, I do have to say, with this current box, I did 3 projects, right? 1, 2, 3. I did 3 projects. Messed up on the first one, and we'll go over that a little bit later. It's automatically going to give you the tools you need. It'll even give you the QR code for tools that you might be missing. Boom, look at that. So with this particular box, it's valued at $83.93. You get 12 of the fat quarters, worth $32.99. You've got the free, the ruler, which is $10.99. Thread spool wraps, $4.99. And then 4 projects. We have the cozy mosaic block at $7.99. A colorful pot holder pattern, $7.99. Placemat, $7.99. And the lunch bag, $10.99. The gifts for you, measured ruling thread wraps. Each box comes with some lovely extras. Let's see. Technique of the month is basic piecing. How it's done: cutting the fabric, arranging your pieces, sewing pieces together, pressing seams, joining rows. And it comes with a beginner's glossary. This month is centered around your kitchen, which I like the little themes. I think that's kind of cute. And there's the QR codes that I'm referring to. So each one, and I don't want to like make it to where you can actually see it and get it without having the booklet or the pattern, the box itself. So I apologize, but that's just copyright. And then it goes into your patterns. It'll tell you quilting level, beginner, the finished size, all that good stuff. And then we'll tell you if there's a video tutorial included, and you'll have it at the bottom or at the top. Sewing layers together. So it looks like each section will have a different video depending on what you're doing, maybe. Huh. I have only scanned one QR code because I was working on the project, and I was like, mine didn't look like that. Well, that's because I sewed it all wrong. But anyways, yeah. And I'm going to show you my boo-boo. I mean, because boo-boos is how we learn. So it goes in here page by page on what it should look like. Very cool tip. Not even a cool tip. Make sure you label everything. Label all your pieces once you cut them. And then once you sew the pieces together, make sure that you are attaching the labels back to it. That way you don't get messed up, okay? Because I got messed up. Now I'm going to take a look here in the very back, because sometimes, oh, yeah, we do have, oftentimes they will have some cutouts that you'll need to, or some pages that you'll need to cut out that will go for a specific pattern. This is for the lunchbox pattern. And I did not do that because it scared me. It scared me a lot on that one. And then one of the final things, which I thought was cute. So you get, most of your book is going to be of the patterns, instructions, quick tips on how to sew your seams, which way to sew your seams, and why you want to sew your seams or press your seams any direction. You want to press your seams in any direction. It explains to you why you want to do that, which I think is great. It's a great helpful tip for beginners. And it's helped me quite a bit knowing which direction I need to press something. That way it doesn't like bog down the machine if you don't have a quilter's foot. And this little, on the back of this one, before it's all done, you get a little oatmeal cookie recipe. Oatmeal cookies for crafting breaks. I think that's pretty cool. I might have to try it out. I like trying out new recipes too. You can find Miss Quilty on Facebook as well as Instagram. When life gives you scraps, make a quilt. In our box, we're going to get 12 fat quarters. 100% cotton. Let's go through those colors real quick, or the prints real quick. So, very 4th of July-ish. Blue stripes. The fabric feels really nice. It's soft. There we go with that one. And if you saw my last video that I did, oh my gosh, it was a hot, it wasn't, okay, yeah, it was a hot mess, but we're working on it. So Miss Quilty is sponsoring this video, and I appreciate them having some faith in me and on this journey, because it's new for both of us. So, and I say both of us, me, my channel, and Miss Quilty having the faith in me. So we're going from there. Loving this blue and white polka dot. Really like that one. And I really do like this. Okay, so one of the tricks that I learned from my last video is when you press your fabric first, you're going to press your fabrics before you start cutting. And when you press it, make sure that you use a starch with it. I use Easy Press is what I use, and that will help your fabric from fraying when you do cut it into your smaller squares. I find that my fabric will fray. Fabrics will fray more if it's cut in smaller squares or smaller pieces. I don't really notice it too much. Ooh, look at those butterflies. If the pieces are bigger. But again, it also could be the fabric as well. Now, this is 100% fabric. This fabric feels great. This box is $83.93. We have 12 fat quarters, and they are worth $32.99. Then we get a ruler. They say it's a free gift, but it's saying it's worth $10.99. This book does come with, let's see, 4 patterns. We have, let me show you real quick. We're going to have a mosaic block here. It's valued at $7.99. We have a colorful pot holder at $7.99. A quilted placemat project for $7.99. And this lunch bag project at $10.99. Now, that's it. So, anyways, I'm going to hop off here. I am going to press my material, get it starched up. I'm going to get it cut, and then I will come back and you'll get to watch me sew some of the pieces together, and then I'll let you know what struggles I had with this, any tips or any of that good stuff. We're going to move on to the items that I made. And I thought of showing you everything, showing you me cutting and sewing, but I had there was a lot. The video would have been hours long because of the done mess ups. So the first one I did was the placemat. And if you can see, yeah, if you don't know the pattern, you may think, hey, that looks all right. You know, a couple of my, like this is probably my best corner. My best corner is right there. But after I binding. So I did bind this, and holy moly, it's a hot mess. So I've never binded before. And as you can see, I've got there's inconsistencies definitely going around it. When I tried to do the front, whoops. Oh, sorry about that. When I tried to do the front side, you can tell that I'm new and I've missed some spots and all that. So this is not supposed to look like this, okay? And why I said to make sure that you relabel your pieces after you've sewn sections together, it's because that way you make sure you get them done right. And this is how it's supposed to look. And it was quite funny because these 2 pieces were left over. Don't know how that these 2 pieces were extras unless I sewn them wrong and had to recut them. And again, I didn't label them after I pieced them back together, and I just grabbed the 2 squares or the 2 rectangles. So anywho, I'll use these for something else, but otherwise that is originally what it was supposed to look like. So tips, making sure that you label after you cut, label after you start piecing, and pay somebody else to do your binding for you. That was just, it was horrible. And I may have to go back. I'm going to have to take it out. And I just may use it as something to go underneath my machine. As you can see, I missed completely right there. So I'll definitely need to watch more videos on binding. Okay, I did do their block. I'm pretty happy with this block. This block was labeled, okay, so the placemat was intermediate. I gave it a shot. I'm not unhappy with it, but there's totally tons of room for improvement on there. So next one I did was the block. Pretty pleased with it. However, if you notice my stripes, they're not the same, but however, the corners, the opposite corners are the same, which I'm going to call that as like an oopsie perfection. I think it's kind of cool. It matches. Yeah, I think it works. So we're going to call that a win on that one. So I did their pot holder. Their pot holder called for binding and a loop. I did not bind it. But I do have to say, I did have to seam rip one row out because my corners were not matching. But look at this. Can you see those corners? Oh, that's practically perfect. And it's a matter of knowing your machine and little tips on matching up. I ended up using clips and pins to pin the rows together before I sewed them. That way I can make sure the seams were lined up, and that turned out so much better. And as for the binding, so when I trimmed this square up, I put the batting on it. The back piece was way bigger than the front piece. So I just wrapped my back. Oh gosh, excuse me. I just wrapped the back. I folded it over, and then I just did almost a little right there on the edge. And I tucked the boop, 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 the loop in underneath it before I sewn across it. I like that because I was terrified of binding. But anyways, look at those. Look at that. Other tips. Pressing your fabrics is a must pressing and starching before you cut. Label your projects, your pieces, your rows, your sections. Make sure you're constantly labeling them. Have a little container for them. It will definitely help. Even though I read the pattern 3 times, I still messed up and I still had extra pieces. Not sure where that happened. But anyways, I always keep this book handy when I'm working on the projects, just because I got to keep going back. You got to keep going back. You got to, and rereading. And the videos were very helpful, very helpful. That's how I noticed that I messed up on the one that, on the ends of the placemat, is by watching the video. And because I was hoping to have a better, she's got a video in there too of binding. So anyways, you can find binding everywhere, but there is a video in the book that will lead you to a video where she did some binding for better techniques on it. But honestly, binding is going to be one of those things where you just got to practice. At least for me, you just got to practice on it. Anyways, did you get this box? Have you made any of the projects? One last thing I do want to show you. So I made three projects out of the 12 fat quarters, and I still have all of this left. Look at, I still have so much left. So I will probably, yeah, look at that. Out of the 3 projects so far, I have all of these pieces left. And there's even more. I had little small pieces that I was scrapping, like here, and I was sewing together after I was cutting and stuff to have more squares for a scrappy quilt. plenty of fabric. So I believe the value of the box for the $34.97 is phenomenal on the amount of projects you can make with the fabric that's left over. I mean, there's probably enough here for me to do the lunchbox, if not more, but I'm not trying the lunchbox. So kudos, Mrs. Quilty. Thank you for sponsoring this video. And there's going to be a link in the description for your 20% off if you use my code. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.